The Case of the Cool Canary, a play by Sarah Maxwell in the style of a Hollywood comedy thriller of the 1930s, with Francis Matthews as Dick George and Margaret Robertson as Dora George.
Oh.
Good morning, Mr. George.
Down, Pastor. Mornings seem to arrive earlier with every birthday. Why is that, do you suppose, Blore?
I fear, sir, that I have prepared your breakfast a trifle in advance of your usual hour.
You surely don't mean that the big hand and the little hand are not yet huddled cosily together at the stroke of noon?
There is, sir, a lady without.
Now really, Blore, you know better than to tempt me that way. A lady without what?
Without almost everything, I fear, sir. She appeared on one's doorstep a few minutes ago, clad only in a silk garment, with pink ribbon at what there is of the top, and black lace at what there is of the, bottom.
And is the lady...
I am not an authority on such things, sir, but I should say that the young person was quite nicely put together.
Well, good heavens, man, why are we dawdling over the papaya juice like this? My dressing gown, forthwith, if you please. The one that matches my eyes.
Here we are, sir. The yellow shot silk.
That was a definite foul, Blore. I'd mail you back to England, but I'm afraid they'd construe it as an act of aggression.
Yes, sir.
Come along, Pastor. Good morning. Good heavens. What have you done to her? She seems to have fainted.
Oh.
Now, take it easy, kid. You're with friends. I'm Dick George.
I'm Ruth-Ann Rogers. Oh, Mr. George, you've got to help me. They're going to kill me. Oh.
Yeah, out cold again. I wonder what causes that.
Brandy, sir?
Really? She doesn't look the type. Husband, would you say, Blore, or lover?
Oh, husband, sir, decidedly. A lover wouldn't be so patient.
In that case, I'll carry Sleeping Beauty to the bedroom, and you open the front door. Pastor will defend you from under the couch. If I hear shots, I'll lock myself in and call the cops.
Thank you, sir.
Don't mention it.
Well, at last. I was beginning to think I'd have to use my key. Good morning, Blore.
Good morning, Mrs. George. How nice to see you again. May I get you some breakfast?
Oh, coffee would be wonderful. Colombian. My maid hasn't your touch with the grinder.
Yes, madam.
Why, Dora, darling. What an unexpected pleasure. And what an ingenious evening gown. So nice to see my money being well spent.
Thank you, Dickie. Every time I sign a cheque, I think of you.
I feel strangely moved.
I do so like to support a good cause. And after all, if it wasn't for my alimony, you might throw your money away on something silly, like Blore's back wages. If he ever got what you owe him, he'd leave you in a minute. So you see, you have a great deal to thank me for.
I'll tell my accountant. He will be surprised.
Your coffee, madam.
Oh, thank you so much. It smells delicious. Perhaps the young lady would care for some.
Young lady, madam?
Oh, Blore, darling, you know Mr. George never could keep a secret from me. Why do you think I bought the apartment next door? There I was, putting my little old key into my little old lock, and there she was in her little old satin scanties ringing your little old doorbell.
So you thought you'd get your little old self right on in here to protect me?
Well, after all, darling, what are ex-wives for?
I've often wondered.
Where have you hidden her?
In the bedroom. She passed out on me.
Well, my goodness, you never used to play so rough.
Variety is the spice of life.
I'd better go take a look at her. I have a lot of medical experience.
And we all know just whose office you got it in.
Well, don't just lie there, Pastor. Come out and bite him. Oh, dear. I'm sorry to have to tell you she looks even prettier up close.
Oh, Mr. George, I remember. I came to ask for your help.
How did you get over here in that, without causing a riot?
I escaped from the apartment below. They've been keeping me prisoner there for 2 days.
Who are they, Miss Rogers?
Won't you please call me Ruth-Ann?
Oh, yes, do let's.
Who?
No, she's just an old wife I keep around to bite the mailman. Go on with your story.
Well, my father was H.B. Rogers the 23rd.
How many?
Cacatis, candy-coated cacuties. Old H.B. was the millionaire who did Europe in 1900 and brought back a castle as a souvenir. About 15 years ago, I helped track down a candy-coated embezzler in the cookie department.
Katie was my mother. Daddy adored her. They were always partying. She died when I was a baby, and Daddy believed she was burned out by the pace of life in New York.
Dick has the same problem.
Dora, dear, isn't there someplace you should be right now, like Philadelphia?
Well, Daddy turned against society ways. He sent me to school in Switzerland to keep me away from everything and everyone he blamed for Mother's death. He came to see me every vacation, but I haven't set foot in the States for more than 8 years. Even when he died last year, his instructions were that I stay in Europe and finish school. Of course, he left everything to me.
You know, that's a phrase I've always rather cared for.
I finally got here 2 weeks ago.
On the Ruritania, I caught your picture in the Social Review.
I come into my inheritance at midnight tonight, when I'm of age. That's provided I haven't made the front page of a New York newspaper by then. H.B. had a phobia about publicity. If I make the headlines before midnight, every last cent goes to my father's third cousin, Norbert Herbert.
With a name like that, he deserves every dime he can lay his hands on.
2 days ago, a black limo pulled up beside me. The door swung open, and I was hauled in the back of it. I smelled chloroform, and then I must have passed out. Next thing I remember, I woke up in the apartment downstairs.
So how did you know where you were?
I heard one of the men say it was crazy keeping me there because Dick George's apartment was right above. And I remembered meeting you when I was a little girl. I think you let me sit in your lap.
Oh, really?
If you ask nicely, I'm sure he could squeeze in an encore.
I've read all about you in the society columns, of course.
Dick George and his lovely wife, Dora.
The Eckhart Emerald case, the Marchbank murders, the Truby Ruby heist.
And the lovely wife.
All that was years ago. I don't sleuth around much anymore.
Oh, please, Mr. George.
Dick!
And his lovely wife, Dora.
I have no one else to turn to. Those two men said they wanted $100,000, or I'd have an unavoidable accident.
How did you get out of there?
One of them went out for cigarettes, and when the other one untied my hands so I could eat, I threw the coffee at him and ran like hell, clothes or no clothes.
A girl can learn a lot from Joan Crawford.
If I call the cops, it'll leak to the press, and then all I need is your protection until midnight. Can you help me?
Can he ever? Right now you couldn't beat him off with a club.
I'll do everything I can, Ruth-Ann, I promise. Do those guys know you're up here?
I don't think so. I pressed the elevator button for the lobby, and then I ran up the stairs.
Well, my goodness. One would think you'd been in the abduction business all your cute little life.
Dora, darling, why don't you run on home and count my money? Blore, the grey flannels, brown Oxfords, and the matching 45.
Very good, sir.
I'll just run next door and change.
Now, Dora, I absolutely forbid you... I'll be darned if Mrs. George isn't still the best door slammer I ever knew.
No one, sir, can slam a door like a real lady.
When I've gone, Blore, lock the door and take care of Miss Rogers till I get back. Oh, and when Mrs. George returns in her Vogue safecrackers outfit, kindly sit on her until further notice.
Very good, sir.
You will be careful, won't you, Dick? One of those guys is real big and mean.
Well, thank you, Ruth-Ann. I'll try and arrange to be slugged by the little one. Oh, and Blore,
Yes, sir?
if I'm not back in an hour, ring Lieutenant Murphy and give Mrs. George the mortician's bill.
Very good, sir.
All I did was ride the elevator, and already I'm out of breath. Oh, nobody in the hallway. 208, 210, 212. And out with my Cub Scouts lock-picking set. George, what a misspent youth you could have had. Lobby, empty. Guest room, empty. Unless you count 2 bored angel fish and an inflatable King Kong. with a slow puncture. Now for the main event. Now, why am I doing this? I retired from the booze, broads, and bodies business last time I turned 39. Living room. Empty. Nice decor. At a guess, I'd say early Theta Bara. What the... Okay, come out from back of those drapes, pal, or there'll be one less for dinner at your place.
If I'd known it was you, I wouldn't have jumped in that alcove.
Oh.
There's a cactus in there that doesn't improve on acquaintance. Ouch.
How did you get in here?
There's this wonderful new thing on the market, darling. I think they call it a key.
You have a key to every apartment in this building?
Oh, of course not. There's a duplex on 4 I'm still working on. This place belongs to Ham Hamilton.
But the poor man's Charlie McCarthy, with the patent leather hair and the rented teeth?
Ham is a fine actor, and his teeth are all his own. I should know.
Oh, please, spare me the sordid details of your amatory intrigues.
For somebody whose little black book needs 2 men and a removal truck, you certainly have some nerve, Richard Arbuthnot George.
Can we please get back to the subject in hand? Where is the great no-profile right now?
He's making love to Greta Garbo for 6 weeks, in Hollywood. I'm supposed to feed his arbutus and water his python while he's gone.
Well, my God, you could have walked into those hoodlums.
Dickie, darling, I do believe you're worried about me.
I'll say I am. You know what they rush you for a plot and a slab these days? Now let's get on with the legwork. If the kidnappers left in a hurry, maybe they got careless. I'll take the master bedroom, you check out the bathroom.
How come I always get the plumbing detail?
Well, this has to be the one. Good grief, come back, Valentino, all is forgiven.
Oh, Dickie, you think you could spare a moment?
Have you found something interesting?
Interesting isn't quite the word I had in mind.
Well, then, for goodness sake, don't bother me. There's a wad of cotton in here with a definite smell of chloroform.
I've forgotten how little it takes to make you happy.
Well, at least it bears out Ruth-Ann's story. Nothing else of any use in here. I guess we gave them too much time to... Hey, now you look kind of funny.
I bet you say that to all your ex-wives.
What did you find in the bathroom?
Oh, you know, soap, towels, 3 hair shirts, and a signed picture of the Marquis de Sade. The usual stuff.
Damn. Have to wait till we can get Lieutenant Murphy's boys in to lift some prints. And we can't do that until Ruth-Ann inherits. You can bet some slob in Murphy's office has got a hotline to the press. Well...
Before you rush off, there was just one other little thing that I forgot to mention.
Oh, really?
It probably isn't important, but you know how you hate it when I keep things from you.
Oh, you mean like the $8,000 owing on your charge account? Or those teensy little diamonds you overlooked from Tiffany's?
I'm trying to tell you the hoods left something behind. Well, one of them did. Scrunched up between the gold bathtub and the black marble John.
Are you going to tell me? Or are we waiting for J. Edgar Hoover?
Well, dear, I think you should know that there's a big, ugly man in there.
What?
Or walk. Don't run, Dickie, darling. He really isn't going anywhere.
Now, what makes you so sure?
Well, I think, darling, it just might be because he's ever so slightly dead.
My God, you're right. He's not breathing.
There's no fooling you.
Let's see what's in his pockets.
Shouldn't you let him alone till the police get here?
Technically, yes, but we can't call the police just yet.
Well, we can't leave people with holes in them just lying around in Ham's apartment. He's bound to blame me.
Do you have a .38 caliber in your pocket?
Nobody who is anybody has pockets these days.
Well, then you're in the clear. Look, I'll call Murphy's mob just as soon as I make sure there's nothing on this guy to lead them back to Ruth-Ann. Hey, what's this?
You know perfectly well what that is. It's one of those silly little paper mats they put under your glass in bad clubs and worse apartments.
The cool Canary. Now, why would anybody save a memento of a low dive?
Perhaps he wanted something to read on the subway.
No. There's a telephone number scrawled on the back. Now all I need to find is the phone in this Bedouin's boudoir.
It's in the stuffed camel. The hump opens like a lid.
Oh, of course. Silly of me. You know, if you ask me, good old heartthrob Hamilton could have a big future behind him. Now, hello. Who is this, please? Oh, it is. I'm so sorry. Wrong number. You won't be surprised to learn that Miss Rogers is not at home.
That was the number of the Rogers place?
It was. Now, look here, Dora. I'm going downtown to the Cool Canary to nose around. You stay here and call Lieutenant Murphy. Tell him you came in on the plant detail and you found Happy Harry here. No mention of Ruth-Ann or the kidnap caper. And above all, no mention of me.
And I suppose you'll bring me a plug of tobacco on visiting days.
Oh, come on, you'll be all right. Just put your eyelashes into bat. Murphy's always had a soft spot for you.
Yes, right in the heart of Sing Sing. So much for chivalry. Pastor, baby, what are you doing here?
Oh, Mr. George, sir, the most dreadful thing.
Good grief, Blore, your head.
My apologies, sir. Madam, one wouldn't usually bleed in mixed company, but one wished to apprise you of the situation with the utmost alacrity. Miss Rogers has gone, sir.
Gone? How?
One was running a bath for the young lady when one heard the telephone ring. Miss Rogers called out that she would answer it. One arranged some fresh towels, bent to turn off the faucet, and something descended on one's head with considerable decision. When one came to, Pastor was licking one's face, and Miss Rogers had disappeared. One has let the side down, sir, and one therefore feels called upon to tender one's resignation.
Oh, nonsense, Blore. One was employed as a valet, not as a babysitter.
Well, the kidnappers obviously broke in and grabbed the girl again. But how did they know where she was? I guess they're smarter than we thought.
Well, I only hope they were smart enough to bring her a suitable ensemble. One sees so many badly dressed kidnapped heiresses these days.
Dora, call the cops as arranged and take care of Blore. Blore, stay away from the cops and take care of Pastor.
If you're still going to the Cool Canary, please take care, darling. Think of the children.
We don't have any children.
Exactly.
I'll see you later. Around martini time. And Blore?
Yes, sir?
Stop bleeding. That's an order.
Very good, sir.
Pastor, leave that body alone. You never know where it's been. Hello. Is that the police? Well, then give me Lieutenant Murphy. I want to report a bone. I mean a murder. Hello? Hello?
Bad boy, Pastor. Now, you're too young to be following men in derby hats into low nightclubs before the sun's over the yard arm. Oh, well, set him up, Joe.
The name's Charlie. Is he with you?
I'm afraid so. My wife's having me followed. I'll have a Jack Daniels. And get my friend a beer. Say, maybe you can help me, Mac.
For help, you want the Salvation Army. And the name's Charlie.
I just wondered if the boss was around.
You a friend of Louie's?
We may have played polo together. Is he a big guy with muscles on his muscles?
No. He's a little guy with a mean puss and eyes like a hound dog.
Now shut up and drink your beer. Have you seen Louie around much the last few days? For instance, have you seen him this morning, buddy?
Charlie. Ch-Lee. You hear? And Louie don't like guys with too many questions.
You expecting him soon? You see, I may have news of a mutual friend.
Louie don't have no friends. And you just ran out of them.
Uh-oh. That wouldn't be a 38 by any chance.
This is a 45. Just like the one in your belt what you was about to hand over.
I was? Oh, yes, I was. Definitely. Here.
Now, you and me is gonna take a little walk to the boss's office. And I wouldn't try nothing if I was you. There's only you, me, and the piano player here. And he ain't paid for his 2020 baby blues.
Pastor, seize him! Oh, there's no worse sight than a dog that can't hold his liquor.
Yes?
Guy here asking a bunch of questions about Louie. And he's carrying a heater.
Cop?
Nah, the dress is too good.
Well, thank you.
Push him in, Charlie, and go start a collection. For a snappy dresser, we're gonna need a real class wreath of roses.
You, inside.
After you.
But
No, all right, I'm going. I should have stood in bed.
Get away from the door, Blore.
Regrettably, Mrs. George, one has one's orders.
Blore, darling, you've had a shock. You must be feeling quite faint. Why don't you come over here and sit down?
Thank you, madam. One is quite comfortable on one's shooting stick. They also serve who only perch and wait.
Blore, dear, wouldn't you like something to steady your nerves? A small brandy, perhaps? Un petit cognac?
Well, maybe just a tiny medicinal...
That's the ticket, Blore. After all, if it was good enough for Napoleon...
Napoleon, madam, was a Frenchman.
That does it, Blore. I ought to punch you right on the nose.
Yes, madam.
Hello?
Mrs. George?
Ruth-Ann, what happened? Where are you?
I'm back at the castle. Is Blore all right?
That is debatable.
The kidnappers, that is, one of them, he came through the window off the fire escape. He zapped Blore and grabbed me. There was a car waiting out front, but when we hit a red light, I threw open the door and took off. Will you tell Dick I'm okay, and not to do anything until he hears from me? It's real important that this stuff doesn't get to the police or the papers before I come into Daddy's money.
I'll give Sherlock Holmes your message, right after I black his eye for dumping me.
I'll call you both tomorrow. And thanks, Mrs. George. In fact, thanks a million.
You're welcome, I think.
And does one gather that the young person is safe?
I'm not so sure. She didn't sound very convincing. Blore, you have to let me out. I have to go check on Ruth-Ann. If they won't let me see her at the castle, I'll know she's a prisoner, and I'll call Dick at the club.
One regrets, madam, one's professional pride, one's loyalty.
Unlock that door this minute, or I'll buy another Molyneux, and one will never get paid.
Ah.
I thought that might appeal to your finer feelings. If Mr. George gets back first, kick him on the shins for me.
Yes, madam.
And that's an order.
It'll end in tears. I know it'll end in tears.
Thank you, Cabby. We must do it again sometime when they bring back your brakes.
Oh, yeah?
So, this is Cacades Cacandy Castle. Cozy little monstrosity. I bet Dracula was glad to get rid of it. Ah, here goes. Ask not for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for... Where the...
Here! I'm up here!
My God, it's Orphan Annie on the battlements.
I'm going to jump!
For heaven's sake, who do you think you are? Douglas Fairbanks? At last. Just hang on, will you?
Not today, thank you.
No, wait. I'm not a motor salesman. I'm calling on Miss Rogers.
Yeah, I regret the family is not at home.
Oh, yes, it is. It's right up there. Oh, no. Say, did you hear a splash?
Good night and goodbye, miss. I hope you have a safe journey.
Now, look here, my good man. I've come all this way to ask Miss Rogers for a contribution to my favorite charity, and I'm not leaving until I talk to her, wet or dry.
Oh, I don't like charity.
Mrs. George, what a surprise.
Well, I never thought I'd say it, but am I glad to see you. Are you all right, Miss Rogers?
All right?
Well, you know, help me. Up there on the roof without a safety net.
Oh, you caught the act, huh?
Yeah.
It was just my little joke. I and Robinson are always playing little tricks on each other. Robinson has a great sense of humor. Haven't you, Robinson? Robinson.
What? Oh, yes. Cut-down coats, second-hand shoes, patched underwear.
What brings you out here, Mrs. George?
Well, when you called to tell me you'd given the bad guys the slip again and run for home, I was worried they might be coercing you to make the call. I thought I'd see for myself that you were okay.
How kind. But as you can see, I'm fine. I'd ask you in for tea or something, but there's a fog rolling in off the Sound, and it can be tricky driving back to town.
Bread and gruel 3 times a day. Oh, no, I don't like charity.
Is he having some kind of breakdown?
Charity?
I'm collecting for the daughters of the indigent rich. If I could just come in for a minute. These heels just weren't made for hiking across open drawbridges.
Of course. Shut the door, Robinson. Robinson.
Oh.
He has a little hearing problem.
And that's the good news.
Step into the library, Mrs. George. Robinson will fix the sherry.
Stale biscuits and warmed-over coffee.
Here we are.
Now, look here. Are you really all right? I don't at all like the look of little Caesar out there.
Oh, he's okay. In fact, a few years ago, he was quite a... a few years ago, he was more on the ball. The sherry.
Could I have a word or 3?
Oh, please excuse me, Mrs. George. I guess there's some kind of domestic problem. Help yourself to sherry, won't you?
Oh, don't worry about me. Many's the happy hour I've passed with St. John and Eleanor Glyn.
I won't be long.
Curiouser and curiouser. First she's kidnapped, then she's free, then she's kidnapped again, then she's free again. These people certainly run a very sloppy abduction service. I come to tea, and she's on the battlements ready for the dive of the dying swan. Next minute she's in the hall, all teeth and smiles, and past the port, well, sherry. Madeira, there's something very wrong here. And I wouldn't trust that phony butler further than he could throw me. Oh, the blazes with it. I'm going to call Dick at the Cool Canary. Slip into your Superman scanties and slide on over here, Richard Arbuthnot George. Uncle Sam may not want you, but I have a feeling that I'm going to any minute now. Hello. Hello.
Here's looking at you, kid.
I don't get it, Mugsy.
He don't get it. Do you know who this is, Shorty?
You want to bust on the nose?
This here's the famous Dick George. Used to be a private eye. Real Park Avenue Dick. Sent me up for a 5-stretch. Made the front page the first time in my life. He'd take another slug, Mr. George. It's a real McCoy.
I don't mind if I do, Mugsy.
He puts you in the slammer and you feed him the boss's best? I don't get it. I don't get it.
He don't get it. I don't get it either, Mugsy. You want to explain?
Oh, come on, Mr. George. You were an okay guy. Some chisels would have shot for you, scrabbed the eyes, and the reward, but you were straight up, and I ain't forgot it. And anyway, I got my picture in the paper. My old mother got it framed, so here's looking at you, Mr. George. Why are you asking about Louie?
Well, I can't tell you all of it, Mugsy. But I'm trying to find out about a guy who's cluttering up the apartment of a neighbor of mine, one Ham Hamilton. The answer to a maiden's prayer, providing she's not too choosy.
That guy? Smells like a bunch of roses and walks like he was afraid to muss the crease in the Sunday pants?
Yeah.
He plays the wheel in the back room here. Louie's the only game in town still giving him credit. I thought he was on the West Coast.
He is, but he has a lodger. A big palooka with cauliflower ears and a face that looks like it's been rented out for a dance floor.
Killer Kasky. Used to be a heavyweight, but he left his brains in his other suit.
Well, he's never going to develop his IQ now. He's playing dead in Hamilton's black marble tub.
If Killer's a part of it, then Louie's got to be right in back of it. Killer has been Louie's hatchet man since he and I fell out over a dame. He trusts me to run this joint for him, but he knows I'm not going to take a fall if one of his rackets hits the dust. He's a guy to stay clear of, Mr. George. Got a chip on his shoulder pad from where the stork dropped him at the Foundling Home instead of the White House.
You think he could have shot Killer?
I think he could have shot his own mother. In fact, he would have, if he could have found her.
What does he look like?
Kind of short, with $300 suits and eyes like pool balls, only creepy. The Cool Canary. Sure, he's here. For you, a dame.
Oh, they follow me everywhere. Hello.
Dick.
Dora, where are you?
Ruth-Ann called to
say she got away from the bad guys again, so I came out here to the castle just to check she was okay. And, Dickie, you just wouldn't believe it. Ruth-Ann's on the battlements, and then she isn't. The butler, who isn't a butler, hates flag sellers, and now they've put Madeira in the sherry decanter.
Well, my goodness, that is serious.
Dickie, if you could just see this terrible little man. I think he's holding a gun on Ruth-Ann. Only where would you put a gun in a $300 suit?
Dora, you have to get out of there.
I can't leave Ruth-Ann. I've read all those novels where the butler did it. And anyone who massacres the Madeira is capable of anything.
Get out and stay out until I get there, Dora.
Who do you think you are, my husband? I'm my own man, and I shall get to the bottom of this business if it's the last...
Dora. Dora? Hello. Dora, speak to me. Oh, my God, it's dead. I've got to get out of here.
I'm with you, Mr. George.
No, you better stay out of it, Mugsy. Any minute now, the cops could be involved, and I wouldn't want you to get your picture in the papers again.
Uh-huh.
But if you want to help, there's a drunk dachshund at the bar. Take him over to my place, huh? And tell my man to call Murphy if I'm not back for the Jack Benny show.
You got it. And I hope the broad's okay.
That was no broad, Mugsy. That was my ex-wife.
Well, I hope she's okay anyway.
Irving, thou shouldst be living at this hour. My God, I think you are.
I gave at the office.
Now look here, buddy. My wife called me from this Grimm Brothers reject, so you better produce her all in one piece or you won't be.
Could you shout a little quieter, please? Loud voices upset me. The lady with the hat is in the library. Will you walk this way?
Not for another 10 years, I hope.
Dickie, darling, I'm so glad that you made it.
Are you all right? When the phone went dead,
We always have problems with the line out here, especially at times like this when the moat's full.
Are you okay, Ruth-Ann?
Why, of course, Dick. Robinson is taking care of me.
That's what worries me. I think I met the last guy he took care of.
What do you mean by that?
Robinson, why don't you go get Mr. George a drink?
No, thanks. No, I had a couple of belts at the Cool Canary. I wouldn't want to miss the road on the way back. I never did learn to swim.
You went to... I'm sure you'd like a real drink, Mrs. George. Robinson, go fix the lady a martini.
With 3 olives.
I don't like
Charity.
olives.
Quick, while he's gone. Tell us everything, Ruth-Ann.
Now, that has to be Louie the Louse from the Cool Canary, right?
And he has a revolver trained on you. Or maybe he has the real servants locked up somewhere as hostages to make sure you behave. Well, don't worry about the heater. Dick's gun's bigger than his gun, isn't it, darling?
We'll never know. I checked it in at the Cool Canary.
Oh, Dick, really? What kind of PI goes around without a rod?
Rod? Heater? Dora, I'm shocked. You didn't learn that at Bryn Mawr.
You'd be surprised what I learned at Bryn Mawr.
The other servants are on vacation. Robinson is just a substitute. It never occurred to me, but maybe he is in on the kidnapping. He certainly does have a gun. He said it was to protect me. Dick, I think you two should leave and try for some proof that Robinson is this Louie person. He won't try anything before I come into my money at midnight. If you let him know you're onto him, he may panic. He has killed once already, so what has he got to lose?
Well, okay. So we pretend everything's on the up and up and leave for town. But I'll be back in a couple of hours with a guy who can ID friend Louie. Meanwhile, play it cool.
I see.
Your martini.
Thank you, Robinson. That was lovely. Now we really must be running along.
Our puppy sitter has to be home by sunset.
Goodbye, Ruth-Ann.
Goodbye, Robinson.
Goodbye.
And don't do anything I wouldn't do. Now, we'd better move. Say, Dora, did you tell Ruth-Ann about the bride in the bath?
The body at Ham's place. The subject never came up.
But she said Louie had already killed once. How did she know?
Unless Louie told her. In which case...
In which case, she knew he was Louie the Louse. So why didn't she tell us? I'm getting that old travel-sick feeling. As in the expression, taken for a ride.
We have to get back in that castle without them knowing. There's a window open. On the right there must be a cellar or something. And the embrasure's plenty wide enough to stand on. We'll swim the moat.
Oh, no, we won't. I pay your taxes. We'll call the cops and let them swim the moat.
There isn't time. Suppose Ruth-Ann is drugged or hypnotized to go along with Louie's plan. He may have heard her make that slip about the body and decide to kill her and grab what he can before we get back.
Dora, I can't swim.
Well, my goodness, you've seen my trunk full of swimming nettles. I'll tow and you float.
I don't float. I sink.
Well, if you do, you can always say I told you so. Now get a move on.
No!
Dick? Dick, will you stop fooling around and come up for air? Dick! Dick!
My hands are numb. Won't you loosen the rope?
So you can
Please,
run off on the
Lucille?
battlements again, I suppose, little cousin.
That
Lord,
fool
Dick,
Louie
look.
never could tie a knot.
There are two of
I'm
them
gonna
in
start
there.
crying again.
There
I
are two of
suppose.
us out here.
What a spineless
And one of us is
little
getting
dope
pneumonia.
you are. Lucky for you, your daddy was a millionaire. You never made it in the real world.
Lucille, Daddy and I didn't know you existed. You must believe me. The last mother heard, your sister ran off with some trumpet player. She never knew there was a child. She didn't even know your parents were killed in that auto wreck.
I thought twins were supposed to sense when things happen to each other.
You're the only family I have left. We could share the money.
Oh, sure.
Hi, everybody. This is my little cousin, Lucille. She hired her ex-husband to kidnap me so she could take my place and my $8 million. But I'm such a little angel, I decided to forgive her. And now we're all going to live happily ever after.
Oh, yeah, I can just picture it.
But they're not going to believe you're me. Can't you see that?
Why not? Nobody in New York's seen you for 10 years. It was a pure accident seeing your photo in the social column, but when I did, oh boy, I couldn't believe it.
My gracious,
Little Miss
Dick,
Moneybags
the red
arrives
hair, the
oh so
long legs.
quietly at
Can
Pier
you see
17,
how alike they are?
but not quietly
see
enough,
anything.
honey. We're
I can't
alike as
feel anything
two
either.
bills in a money clip.
I think I'm
And
developing
once I get
frostbite.
my hands on the dough, there's only going to be one Ruth-Ann Rogers, and it ain't gonna be you.
Mr. George won't be fooled for long. You said he's gone for someone who knows Louie. When they arrest him, Louie will tell them everything.
Oh, they won't arrest Louie. Why do you think I got rid of them? Louie is gonna try to shoot me. And in the struggle, the gun's gonna go bang, and poor Louie is gonna go bye-byes. When Dick and the Don Blonde get back, I sob all over him, and there's nobody left to say that Lucille Lamont ain't Ruth-Ann Rogers.
Oh, isn't that just? Dumb blonde indeed.
No.
I'm going in this window right now and scratch her eyes out.
Oh, Dora. Dora, wait. Don't!
What? I'll give you dumb blonde, Lucille Lamont. Just you untie that poor girl this minute. We have you surrounded.
That's what they all say.
This time it happens to be true. Dick, do your stuff. Dick? Dick, where are you? Oh, my goodness.
I found this floating past my window.
Now, this is the wettest case I was ever on.
Oh, really, Dick, it's too bad of you. Now what do we do?
Now we change our plans a little. Pity. I had a photographer lined up for tomorrow. Heiress Ruth-Ann Rogers being congratulated by her old friend and prominent socialite, Mr. Richard George.
Oh.
And his lovely wife, Dora.
Thank you, darling.
So now what?
Now we ice 'em.
Go wash your mouth out with soap.
It's my bet the papers will be so full of the tragic accidental death of the famous Mr. and Mrs. George, they'll tuck little Ruth-Ann in the hall and among the also-rans. Who's gonna notice 2 lines on an inside page on a blurred picture? It'll work better than my original plan.
Can I shoot them now, Lucille? Can I, huh?
I said their deaths are gonna be accidental, didn't I?
Oh.
It's a well-known fact that Dick George is an alcoholic.
Nobody tells me anything.
He's been drinking at the club. His car goes off the road into Long Island Sound. He and the charity lady go down twice, and come up once.
Isn't somebody going to wonder about our hitchhiker? I mean, our butler, for one, is going to recognize Ruth-Ann's face.
Oh, she isn't going with you.
Can I shoot her, Lucille? Pretty please?
Ruthie is going where no one will ever find her.
The bargain basement at Bloomingdale's.
Who'd ever think of looking for a body in the Rogers family vault? It's right here in the grounds. And guess who's got the key?
You mean I don't get to shoot anyone?
Well, that's the way it goes, pal. Some days a guy just can't get ahead.
Don't go along with her, Louie. She told Ruth-Ann she's going to shoot you and keep all the money. We heard her.
Oh, Lucille wouldn't do that. She loves me. The divorce was all a mistake. She told me so. We're going to be together again.
That's right, baby. Till death us do part.
Or the next half hour, whichever proves longer. Help! Help!
It's no use. You can't hear a thing from here. The walls are a foot thick.
Lock 'em in, Louie, and open the floodgates.
In the old days, the cellar was an escape hatch. They flooded it, raised the grill, and rode out. You open the floodgates, you see, and the moat comes pouring.
I'll never leave home without my water wings in the future, if I have one.
Get on with it, Louie, while I see who's out there. And no more foul-ups.
Are you going to let her talk to you like that?
Yes. Now get over there.
Oh. Dora, he hit me.
What with?
I think it was a .38.
Goodbye, suckers.
I just knew this wasn't going to be my day. Huh?
I do so hope that's a rusty Death Watch beetle.
It's the floodgates. He's opening the floodgates. What are we going to do?
At a rough guess, drown.
My apologies for troubling you, Miss Rogers, but Mr. George was due at the Astors at 6, and he's never been known to miss the cocktail hour.
I'm afraid he left hours ago. I guess you missed him in the fog.
Hey, Blosey, I must track down George's roadster. It's over there in the bushes, so they gotta be around. Lucille, I don't believe it. What are you doing here?
I'm afraid you're mistaken. Mr. Blore will confirm that I am Ruth-Ann Rogers.
Are you kidding? This is Mugsy you're talking to, Mugsy Moran. I don't know what kind of a scam you're running, but there's no way I'd forget you, babe.
Pastor! Oh, dear. I do apologize. He's been terribly badly brought up. I shall have to go in after him. Pastor! Heal, sir! Heal!
Gee, babe, you look great.
No fooling you, Mugsy. Come on inside and give me a chance to explain. Aw, gee, but I missed you.
You're dead, huh? You really missed me. Why did you do it, babe? Taking a powder when I was in jug. My life has been an empty holster since you run out of me with that no-good Louie.
Who are you calling no good, Moran? Lucille, there's a dog in the kitchen. Dogs don't like me.
When I went to work at the club, he said you two were all washed up. Said you run out on him to sing with some road band.
This one works for me. This one I can shoot, right, Lucille?
I said no shooting, Louie. Mugsy, I ain't seen him in years until a few weeks ago. Come in the kitchen, I'll tell you about it. It's a scam, okay? And a big one. Play your cards right and we'll cut you in.
Oh, no, we won't.
Shut up, Louie.
Yeah, shut up, Louie. Frails first.
Oh, Mugsy, you always was a gentleman.
My pleasure.
Oh! I suppose you think that's funny. Sweetie pie, I want to talk to you.
Well, I don't want to talk to you.
The door isn't locked, Louie.
I can't come in the kitchen. There's a wild animal in there. No, don't let him out.
Heal, Pastor. Heal, I say. Oh, one wouldn't have had this trouble with a nice British bulldog.
This won't take long, Mugsy. Louie, baby.
Oh, you don't love me anymore.
Of course I do, sweetie. But I gotta be nice to Mugsy. He could make trouble for us.
Not if I shoot him, he couldn't. You put a little hole in a person, he's as good as gold.
Louie, you can't go around putting little holes in people. It gets your name in the papers. We have to sweeten Mugsy up. and get rid of him and Blore.
And the dog. We got to get rid of the dog. He looks at me like it was a T-bone in a silk suit.
We'll get rid of the dog, Louie, I promise you. Just don't rock the boat with Mugsy. Let him think I go for him, right?
But you go for me, right?
Oh, Louie, you know that you're my one and only.
Oh, your one and only what?
That's right, baby.
What line is he handing you, sweetheart?
I was just explaining how I feel about you, Mugsy.
Well, how's about you explain it to me, sugar?
Only if you ask me nicely.
I was talking to Lucille.
Why don't we all go back in the kitchen?
Only if the one in the striped pants gets hold of the dog.
I think he's got him now.
After you, Lucille.
Oh, Louie, you always had the classiest manners.
You bring out the best in me.
Oh! I suppose you think that's funny!
Well, here's another fine mess you've got me into.
Just keep floating, will you? Maybe the water won't flood the cellar too deep.
If they don't shut the floodgates, it comes up to the ceiling.
Mother always said I should have married a taller man.
Before I married you, I was a taller man.
Oh.
We heard most of it from our perch, Ruth-Ann. But how did the gruesome twosome take over here?
They arrived on the doorstep 10 days ago. Lucille wore a hat with a heavy veil. She said she was an old friend of my father's who read I was back from Europe. I asked them in, and when they found out the servants were pensioned off when Daddy died, and I was alone here, Lucille threw back her veil, and Louie produced a gun. I've been locked up down here almost ever since.
Signing checks and waiting for Cousin Lucille to get your signature off pat and get herself accepted by Ace Boy Detective Richard Arbuthnot, etc. Oh, Ruth-Ann, isn't there any way out of this cellar apart from the door and the moat?
There's only the trapdoor in the ceiling, and it's bolted from above.
Thank you, little Mary Sunshine.
Dick?
Yes.
Shut up and keep floating.
I knew it. He doesn't like me.
He's not the only one. You took my canary away from me once and you're not doing it again.
Forgive the intrusion, but perhaps you could vouchsafe me the information as to what our Mr. and Mrs. George departed.
A gentleman friend picked the lady up a couple of hours ago, and when Dick arrived, he went bananas and lit out after them in a cab. I guess his car had some kind of problem. I'm sure he's home by now. You could call, but the line's down.
Say you'll stick with me, babe. Without you, I'm like a hood without a heater. A cop without a cannon.
A stool without a pigeon. I shot the last guy who got ideas about her. One more won't make any difference.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I think I'll be running along now.
Stay where you are, Blore. I wouldn't want you jumping to the wrong conclusion and running along to the cops.
One rather fears that Ottima Pasta Napolitana III has taken offense.
Hey, you're not doing nothing bad to Mr. George, are you, huh?
Oh, Mugsy, I just love it when you're masterful.
Ah, Lucy.
Oh, Mugsy.
Oh, stop it, will you? Before I put a hole in your head, babe.
You and who else?
Gentlemen, please. One does not indulge in gratuitous violence until after the crumpet, cucumber, and caraway. So, if you will kindly point one towards the orange pekoe.
Come again.
Haven't you ever heard of the Boston Tea Party?
We're going to drown, I tell you. If the water rises one more foot, we're all going to drown.
All of my life is passing in front of me.
Well, when you get to my part, I want strict approval.
You're coming with me, sweetheart, right?
Milk or lemon, sir?
She certainly is not. Lemon, please. We're going to remarry when we get our hands on the dough.
Sugar?
I saw her first.
Possession is 10 points of the law.
1 lump or 2?
Since when did you know from the law? Give me 6 Blorzy and hold the cow juice.
Can't you control that damn dog?
He seems to have found some form of trapdoor under the rug. Might one hazard perhaps a rat in the cellar?
Stay away from that trapdoor, or I pull the trigger. He bit me. The dog bit my hand. My pinky's got rabies.
The gun, you fool! Get the gun!
Too late, sweetheart. Get the trap up, Blorzy. I'll keep the heater on them. I don't know what's in the cellar, but it better still be breathing.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
Why, Blore, How very nice to see you. How have you been?
Very well, thank you, Mrs. George, apart from the odd twinge of rheumatism, tempus fugit, you know. Allow me.
Thank you, Blore. Just give me a hand with Ruth-Ann, will you?
Upsy-daisy, miss. Here come.
Oh, I can't believe we're not going to drown.
Well, what do you know? Another Lucille.
Allow me to present the real Ruth-Ann Rogers. Turning into quite a party, isn't it? Now, why do I get the feeling that I've forgotten the canapes? Oh, do stop sulking and come out of there, Dick. Dick? Dick! Oh, my kitty aunt. Come on.
Good evening, Mr. George. Milk, sugar, and bourbon.
Gee, Mr. George, you're all wet.
Oh, Mugsy.
Bless you, sir.
You'll never know how glad I am to see you. You know, without you, believe me, the party would have been stone dead.
Ho hum.
Why, good morning, Mugsy. Don't tell me Blore has resigned at last.
Oh, no, Mrs. George. He's in the bedroom. Seems like the putz bit something gave him a pain in the breadbasket. Also, Mr. George ain't so hot. I guess he's allergic to water. You want to come in?
Well, now that I've come all the way from my apartment. Mugsy, I'm sorry about Lucille. I know you were very fond of her.
I should have spotted her for a $3 bill right off. I guess sometimes when a broad's kind of different from the rest, you don't sit around much asking yourself what makes her that way. Yeah. You and Mr. George, I figure you'll be getting back together now.
Well, what with the ministrations of Blore and the love of a good dog, I'm not at all sure that Dickie needs any more help around the house.
You don't say. Well, in that case, you see, I got a lot of respect for you, Mrs. George. And the way I figure it, a good-looking broad like you didn't ought to be on her own in this town.
Why, Mugsy, I do believe that was a proposition.
Well, like I always say, we all got to go sometime. And I want you should know, I ain't no bum. I got prospects. With Louie up for a 10 stretch, I'll be taking over the cool Canary. Strictly legit, that's Mugsy Moran from here on in. What do you say, sweetheart?
I'm terribly flattered. But I'm afraid the answer has to be no. I lost my heart years ago to a hypochondriac in blue silk pajamas.
Well, you want some, you lose some. I guess I'll just have to keep shopping for her, Mrs. Mugsy. No hard feelings.
I should say not.
Yeah. That Mr. George, you tell him for me. He's one lucky stiff. I'll see you, huh?
I'll see you, Mugsy. And now for the blue silk pajamas.
Oh, so you've come to see me, at last. I could have been... Oh, I could have been sneezing my last for all you cared.
And how is our boy today, boy?
The veterinarian feels he will be fully recovered in 24 hours.
Did you hear that, Pastor? Who wants a doggy-woggy chalky, Dan?
No, he's faking, I tell you. When Blore went out for the bagels, that faker was running around like a puppy.
I really can't stay, darling. I promised to wave and cry when Ruth-Ann sails for Europe this morning. Oh, and by the way, she sent us a nice big check for us a wedding present.
What? What wedding?
Darling, surely you remember proposing to me when we were floating around together.
All I said was blub, 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 blub.
But I understood you perfectly, Dickie, darling. I always have.
Et tu, Brute?
May one offer one's felicitations?
Thank you, Blore. I'll drop by later with the seating plan.
Now, look here, Dora. Nobody's sitting down at my wedding. I mean, I am not getting married.
If you say so, darling. Should you need me, Blore, I'll be at Bonwit Teller, the bride's department. Bye, darling.
Blore, call the cab company. Call the shipping line. Call the Foreign Legion. Oh, Blore,
Sir?
call the flower shop and order half a ton of orange blossom.
Very good, sir.
So tell me, Judas, how are you on the wedding march? Da 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 da.
In The Case of the Cool Canary by Sarah Maxwell, Francis Matthews played Dick George, Margaret Robertson, Dora, Lisa Jacobs, Ruth-Ann Rogers and Lucille Lamont, Nigel Anthony, Louie, Harry Towb, Mugsy, Edward de Souza, Blore, Alan Tilvern, Charlie, and Ronald Herdman, Pastor the dog. The play was directed by Glyn Dearman.